Eastside Flatwoods is, this woods right here, is unique in Marion County as far as its size and its remnant natural value. That forest canopy has not been taken down since the days that the Delaware, the Lenape Indians were here, instead of, people starting to survey the area to be a city. About, what was it, maybe 12 years ago, 15 years ago, there was some selective logging done, and they removed a number of trees, but many of the big trees, they've kept there. And you all know this better than I do. I've been there a number of times, but there are bur oak in there, and basswood, and sycamore, and poplar, and beech that are basically old growth trees. And had they not done that selective cut a decade and a half ago, that would be a virgin forest still. It ranks up there with the state's top nature preserves for having old growth forest remnant value. And the Central Indiana Land Trust has walked it several times, indicated an interest in trying to help preserve it. The city has made it a top priority in its comprehensive parks plan update that the city council adopted in 2022. The current majority owner of the property is willing to sell it for conservation. We have to get the city to put its money where its mouth is. They have said in 2 parks plans now that wood should be bought and added to the park system as an ecological kind of nature park, and that there should be fields bought. The latest update plan says the fields next to it should be bought so that they don't have to put infrastructure in the woods, but that they would develop the park infrastructure next to the woods. That's why it's so important now that the community rally behind this woods, because the councilors know that every year there's a reversion back to the budget of the money that the previous budget didn't spend. For the last several years, that's been around $30 to $40 million every year. It comes back to the city in the first quarter of the next year. Well, we're in the first quarter of 2025. The money from the 2024 budget is going to come back to the city after the state looks it over and then turns it back to the city. We're trying to save some other woods, but we're asking them to take $4.5 million of the reversion back to the city from last year's budget and use it to buy these woods. And the large majority of that money, $3 million of the $4.5 million, we want to go to buy the Eastside Flatwoods. And that's based on the latest appraisals that the Falls families had done on the fields and the forest and what it would cost based on their appraisals. The councilors need to be hearing, and the Hogsett administration needs to be hearing from everyone who wants to save that woods, that you need to put the money in the budget to buy the Eastside Flatwoods. They need to hear that message in just overwhelming numbers. And the most important people are the people who live in this area. We're going to have a city council meeting on March 3rd. We need you all to be there. They start by about 7 o'clock in the evening. Get there early, 20 to 7. Grab a seat. We've got all these saved, the Eastside Flatwood signs. Help us hold these signs up. Please save this Eastside Flatwoods now. Let's get that off the table and do that as fast and hard as we can.